Okay, let's dive into something I think is incredibly useful for, well, pretty much everyone.
Hmm.
We're doing a deep dive today into the language of eating out. Specifically, how to handle restaurant recommendations.
Giving them and getting them.
Exactly. Like, if you've ever felt awkward trying to suggest a place, or maybe worse, trying to politely say no to a really bad idea someone else had.
Yeah, happens all the time.
Well, we've basically pulled together a linguistic toolkit for you, based on some great source material about conversational fluency.
That's the plan. We looked at this guide and we're pulling out the key vocabulary, the phrases, even some fluency hacks you need to sound really natural.
So things like describing the food itself. Is it, light or really tasty?
Right. Or describing the place. Is it a fancy bistro or maybe just a great hole in the wall?
And, critically important, the language for saying what you actually want, like being in the mood for something specific.
And how to handle those absolute no's, the dietary roadblocks.
Yeah. It's really about turning that vague question, so where should we eat, into a much smoother, more successful conversation.
Okay, so let's unpack this toolkit. Where should we start? Maybe with those roadblocks. The reasons for saying no.
Good idea.
Mm,
Because, before you can even suggest something good, you need to know what's off the table.
right, setting boundaries.
And the source material really flags that health is often the big one here.
Yeah.
We need to get clear on two really different concepts. First up, food poisoning.
Okay, food poisoning. So at its core, this is about getting sick from food that was bad, contaminated somehow.
It doesn't matter what the food was, right? Just that it was off.
Exactly. Could be anything. Bad chicken, dodgy salad, whatever. Our sources called it the sort of universal traveler's nightmare.
Yeah, and the toolkit gave a really vivid example, didn't it? About someone traveling.
It did. A story about getting really sick in Morocco from drinking fresh orange juice, of all things.
Orange juice. Wow, you wouldn't expect that.
Well, and what's fascinating, the problem probably wasn't the oranges themselves. It was likely the water used to wash the glass, maybe, or perhaps ice made from tap water.
Ah, okay. So it's about the preparation, the environment.
Precisely. And that's why the term food poisoning carries weight, especially when traveling. Saying you got food poisoning suggests a problem with the place's safety standards,
Yeah.
Not just that you didn't like the taste.
That makes total sense. The general safety risk. Okay, so that's food poisoning. What's the contrast then?
The contrast is being allergic. And this one is, well, it's a different category altogether.
More serious.
Potentially, yes. Being allergic means your body has a specific negative reaction to one particular type of food, like peanuts or milk, or maybe seafood.
Right, so it's not about general safety, it's about a specific ingredient.
Exactly. And when you say, I'm allergic, you're not just expressing a preference like, oh, I don't really like fish. You're setting a hard boundary. Eating that food could have serious health consequences.
Like difficulty breathing or worse.
Potentially, yeah. So that phrase, I'm allergic, really needs to be taken seriously in any conversation about food. It stops the suggestion right there.
Okay, that's a really clear distinction. General risk versus a very specific personal risk. Got it. So now we know how to say no effectively. What about saying yes or giving a really positive recommendation?
Well, the dialogue examples we looked at use some great descriptive words. You don't just say something was good.
Right, needs more punch.
Exactly. If the food was amazing, you'd call it fantastic. That means extremely good, really high quality.
Okay, fantastic. The pasta there is fantastic.
Yep. Or maybe the fish was outstanding. That means exceptional, truly memorable.
Outstanding fish. Got it. And it's not just the food, is it? People talk about the place itself.
Definitely. The overall vibe, the decor, the decoration, the style of the restaurant that often comes up in a really positive review. Beautiful decor, they might say.
Makes sense. But the type of place matters too, right? Not just how it looks.
Absolutely. And the linguistic toolkit defined two really useful contrasting types of restaurants. First, the bistro.
Ah, bistro. I hear that word and I immediately picture something specific.
Right. And the definition helps. Structurally, it's usually small, informal, often with a French feel.
Yeah.
And the price, kind of moderate, not super cheap, but not wildly expensive either.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
But like you said, there's an expectation that comes with the word bistro, isn't there?
Totally. It's like a social shorthand. You hear bistro, you expect a certain level of quality, maybe some classic dishes, a cozy atmosphere. It implies a certain standard.
It's like a promise almost.
It is a promise of a certain kind of dining experience. Now compare that to its polar opposite, a hole in the wall.
Yeah. Hole in the wall sounds less promising.
Mhm.
or maybe more exciting?
It can be both. It typically means a very small place, often pretty cheap, maybe a restaurant or a bar. The look of the place isn't the point.
So the name itself tells you something.
Exactly. It signals that the focus is likely 100% on the food, the taste, the authenticity. Forget the fancy decor or comfy seating.
It suggests you're recommending it despite the appearance, like it's a hidden gem.
Precisely. I know it doesn't look like much, but the food is incredible. That's the hole-in-the-wall vibe. It implies the quality is a discovery, maybe even a secret.
That's a brilliant way to put it. Shows how just one phrase shapes your whole expectation. Okay, so we've got words for the place, words for the food quality. What about the actual doing? The verbs.
Right, the action words. The first one that pops up all the time is check out.
Check out. Yeah, I use that a lot. Let's check out that new cafe.
Exactly. It's super versatile. It just means to go look at something, investigate it, go see it.
So not just for places.
Nope, anything. You can check out a new car you're thinking of buying, check out a website, check out a band.
Planning to check out the new shopping mall this weekend?
Yeah, okay. It's basically an invitation to explore something. That's a good way to think of it, an instruction to investigate. And it's really key for fluency because it's just so common when talking about anything new.
Got it. Okay, so we've checked out our options. Now we need to talk about what we actually want, our preferences.
And the source material gave us two really nice, nuanced phrases for this. They're great because they help you sound polite.
Socially skillful ways to talk about likes and dislikes.
Exactly. The first one is for expressing a mild dislike, a soft no. It's not all that crazy about.
I'm not all that crazy about seafood. That sounds much gentler than I hate seafood.
Right. It's a fantastic bit of social lubricant, as you put it. It avoids confrontation. If someone suggests, say, jazz music, you can say, I'm not really all that crazy about jazz.
It softens the rejection. Is it okay for most situations? Like, could I use it with my boss?
That's a good question. It is quite conversational. So maybe for a very formal business dinner, you might choose something else. But honestly, for almost all everyday interactions, even with colleagues, it's perfect. It focuses on your feeling right now, not some big judgment.
Okay, useful.
Right.
Not all that crazy about. And what's the flip side? Expressing what you do want.
That's where in the mood for comes in.
Right. I'm in the mood for Thai food tonight.
Exactly. It signals a current desire, a craving. You feel like eating or doing something right now. Are you in the mood for something spicy? Or I'm not really in the mood for a movie tonight.
It anchors the preference in the present moment. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's about what you feel like now.
And often, if you're in the mood for something good to eat, you hope it's going to be tasty.
Yes. And the toolkit made a really good point here. While delicious is perfectly correct English.
We often just say tasty.
Yeah, very often.
Yeah.
Especially in casual conversation. Wow, this soup is really tasty. It just sounds very natural, very common.
Good to know. Tasty. And the opposite of a big heavy meal you might not be in the mood for.
That would be something light.
I'm in the mood for something a bit lighter tonight.
Exactly. We define light as, not heavy on the stomach, easy to digest, often lower in fat, or maybe simpler preparation. It's the perfect contrast if someone suggests, say, a really rich, heavy meal and you're just not feeling it.
Okay, light versus heavy. Got it.
Yeah,
This is building up into a really practical set of tools.
it is. And now we can think about fluency, how to actually structure the conversation smoothly.
Right. So if I'm the one looking for a place, how do I ask? What's the natural way?
Well, the dialogue examples showed some nice flexibility. The most direct way is just, do you have any suggestions?
Simple enough. Suggestions?
Yep, but you could soften it slightly, make it a bit more casual. You could ask, do you have any ideas?
Okay, ideas.
Or even, do you have any thoughts? Like, any thoughts on where we could get good pizza around here?
Suggestions, ideas, thoughts. Basically interchangeable.
Pretty much. They all work perfectly well for asking someone to recommend something. Easy structures to use.
Okay. And once you get an idea, or if you're the one giving the recommendation, how do you phrase it strongly? Persuasively.
The toolkit highlighted two main ways. The first one is a bit softer, maybe slightly more formal. I'd recommend giving it a try.
I'd recommend. Okay. Sounds polite, inviting.
It is. But if you want to be much stronger, more enthusiastic, almost push them a little.
Like, this place is amazing. You have to go.
Exactly that feeling. The phrase is, you've got to give them a try.
You've got to. That definitely sounds more forceful.
Yeah.
And hang on, both of those use contractions, don't they? I didn't. You've.
Yes. And this brings us to what the source called the absolute fluency hack, Contractions. This is so, so important for sounding natural.
Because native speakers use them all the time.
All the time, constantly. Take that first phrase. If you say, I would recommend giving it a try, slowly, clearly.
It sounds kind of stiff, like I'm reading from a script.
Exactly. It sounds unnatural. The fluid, normal way to say it is I'd recommend. That I and would just naturally get pushed together.
Okay. I'd recommend. Practice that.
Definitely. And the second one, the stronger one, is even more dramatic in how it changes. You have got to give them a try.
Nobody actually says have got to like that, do they?
Almost never in casual speech. We shorten it drastically. Often we even drop the have completely. It becomes you got to.
You got to give them a try, or even shorter.
Yeah, sometimes even you got to see this movie.
Wow. Okay, so if you're listening to native speakers or watching movies and you don't catch that contraction,
You could easily get lost. You might not even realize they're making a strong recommendation. Using these contractions yourself is crucial. It's the difference between sounding like you just memorized words and sounding like you actually speak the language naturally.
it's not just about talking faster then.
Not at all. It's about rhythm and pronunciation. Honestly, the full forms like I would and you have got feel a bit awkward to say for a native speaker in conversation. The contracted forms just flow much better.
Especially when you're quickly trying to decide where to eat dinner.
Exactly. It keeps the conversation moving.
Okay, this is super helpful. I'd recommend you got to. Right, so now we have all the pieces. Let's see how they fit together. The original dialogue scenario you mentioned, it used a lot of these, right?
Oh, yeah. It was a masterclass in using this language, especially for polite rejection, a perfect storm of setting boundaries.
So how did it go? Walk us through it.
Okay, so it started with someone recommending an Italian place, glowing review, fantastic food, beautiful decor, sounded great, but the other person shut it down quickly using our key phrases. First, the soft rejection. I'm not all that crazy about Italian food tonight.
Okay, preference stated politely.
Yep. And then they added the desire, and I'm in the mood for something a bit lighter.
Using lighter as the reason. Clever. Easy to accept that rejection.
Exactly. So the recommender didn't give up. They pivoted, suggested a different type of place.